All right, I'm going to continue on doing the spark plugs. There's a helpful tip here that I just learned when I couldn't get my spark plug socket out of the engine compartment. So I'll tell you that when we go back into it. I've got my coils here, so I'm going to remove this one. I've already done two of them. So I'll go ahead and take this off and then show you once I get it off the next steps. Okay, I've got that 10 millimeter off. I'm going to need both hands, so I'm going to set the phone down for a minute and get this unplugged. Okay, I've got the coil pack out and unplugged, and the next step that I've seen people do, which seems like a good idea, is to blow some compressed air to get whatever junk may be in there to blow out. Alright, so what I'll do now is take my spark plug socket. You can see it has the rubber down the middle there, which will grip onto the spark plug, and remove the spark plug. Okay, after a few turns on the ratchet, I think it's going to be loose enough here to just do it by hand. Okay, it seems like it's coming up. And we've got the old spark plug out. One thing that you're going to want to check on this, let's focus. You're going to want to check, I've been told, to see if it has any oil on it. These seem to be dry. They don't seem to have any, I mean, they don't look good, but they're dry. I don't think any oil or any issues. When I look down into where the spark plug goes, which probably won't be able to see because it's too dark, there's a little silver ring in there. So other people online have used the compressed air again, which is what I'll do, because I think what it does is it blows the dirt off of the where the spark plug sits, so that there's no dirt on it to make a good seal when you put the new spark plug in. And that's where I'll give you a helpful tip that will help in replacing the new one. Okay, I think you'll be able to see it here if it focuses down underneath. But there's a little bit of little particles in there, little carbon deposits or whatever. I'm not too technical on this stuff. But when you put the compressed air, it'll blow that away. Even if it goes into the engine, it'll just burn up and exit through the exhaust. But what it'll do is create a nice new seat for the fresh spark plug to sit on, making a better seal. So I'll grab the compressed air right now and do that. Okay, so this is going to be the helpful tip. You've got this rubber piece in here, and that's going to hold the spark plug. So on the first one, what I had done is just put the spark plug in and pushed it in all the way. Put it inside of the engine and actually screwed it in, used my torque wrench and torqued it down. Then the problem was this socket stayed into the engine. And it was actually, you know, I don't have a locking extension, so this part would come off every time I tried to pull up on it. So this part would come out of the engine here, leaving the socket and the spark plug in. So the best way to do this that I found is when you're putting in the spark plug to the socket, you're going to want to only put it in enough to where it grabs, but not all the way. So let me see here. On this one, that would be right about there. So it's where you could thread it in by hand. It's not going to fall out, but it's not in so tight that you can't then remove the socket. Once you have it tightened by hand, get a regular, without the rubber in it, 5/8 inch socket, put that back down in and use your torque wrench on that. That way, once you have it torqued down, this will come out easily. And I'll go ahead and do that right now. So this has been blown out nice and clean. Feeding it down, holding the extension so it's got some weight on it, but not pushing down on it, because we don't want the socket to go in all the way again. It'll make it, at least with my socket, impossible for it to come out without the extension popping off of it. And again, just by hand tight, pull up on it. I can feel that the socket is releasing. And now we're ready to put the non-spark plug standard 5/8 inch deep socket on and torque it. Okay, I've got this Craftsman torque wrench. It's the kind of torsion bar type. It's decent, it's set at 0, and when I move this, you'll see that I'm applying some torque to it, but it is making a revolution. So this is compressing the washer that's in there. I'll go ahead and do this until it goes up to the torque that I need. On these, I read that it was around 17. I'm doing it a little more than 17 because I had that issue with the other one and just kind of wanted them to all be the same. And when I removed them, it seemed like it was a little bit more torque on it. And again, all this is done with the engine cold, so I'll do it right about there. And now again, since this is just a standard 5/8 inch, comes right out, no issue with it holding on with that rubber boot to the spark plug that's down in. Okay, once I've got the spark plug in, don't know if it's necessary or not, but I've been blowing them out again, just in case, and then I'll go ahead and put the coil back on. Don't know if it helps or hurts, but I've been blowing the coil out as well. When putting this clip back on, you want to make sure that it's in all the way. You'll hear it click. You know it's good. Push that back down. Line up that hole and put the screw back in, or the bolt back in. Okay, I don't know the torque setting on the coils. What I've been doing is just similar to what the spark plug had been set at. So just a little bit over 15 on these, somewhere in between 15 and 25. And I say we're good on that. Okay, so I've got the 2003 Acura RSX base model, and the plugs that I got when I bought these quite a long time ago. I did some research on them, and these seem like the ones to get. The laser iridium as a factory replacement. They're either the same or very similar to the factory ones. Again, don't quote me on that. These are what I bought. If something else is being recommended, that might be the proper one. I can't remember again because it's been so long ago that I purchased these. And I hope this helps somebody out, especially with that socket staying in the engine compartment. On the first one that I did, I actually had to back it off and remove the spark plug, which I didn't like to do because the spark plug has a compression washer on it. So that one I had compressed to around 17 pounds, which is what's recommended. When I put it back in, I compressed it a little bit more to around 20, maybe a little bit over 20. So again, not something that's recommended, but I felt like that would be okay instead of buying another spark plug. And I hope that helps somebody out there. Thanks for watching.